It's an unfortunate but inescapable fact that ever since man learnt to drive cars, he's also been bending them, bashing them, crashing them, and generally knocking them about. In the early 30s, when this film was made, specialized body repair equipment was relatively unknown. But even then, as now, BlackHawk was a market leader. Its Porto power repair system helped a lot of people get things straight.
Looks like a dead loss to me, though. Yes, I guess you're right.
Even then, we were on the road, proving to people that BlackHawk meant profit.
Now here's your hydraulic ram that gives you 7 ton of power in any position. And all kinds of attachments, extensions, flex heads, tools to push, pull, spread, clamp, straighten, twist, or do any other darn thing you want.
Now from BlackHawk comes the system of the 70s, the Korek body frame repair system. It's compact. This one cupboard contains enough accessories to repair up to 3 cars at the same time. The backbone of the system, this steel frame, which is installed either in or above the workshop floor. This Capri, which has had a nasty back-end shunt, is rolled onto one end of the base with the help of a trolley jack, thus leaving enough floor space to position 2 more vehicles. The car has been jacked up to a more convenient working height. The repairer is ready for the first stage, fixing underbody clamps to the car just forward of the rear wheel arches. With the clamp in position on the near side, he slides the anchor tube through the holes on the clamps and fits the second clamp to the offside, sliding the tube through it on this side. With Korek, there are no columns in the way, no ramps or runways onto which you have to drag the car. There's completely free access all around it. The clamp is tightened with a time-saving air impact wrench. Two stands are used to support the anchor tube. Like the clamps, these two have a locating hole through which the tube passes. The next step, chains to secure the stands and thus the car to the Korek frame. Anchor feet have been inserted into the Korek frame, and the securing chain passed over a hook on the tube and back to the second anchor point. The initial slack is taken up by sliding the anchor points sideways. And then wedges are hammered in to lock the chain anchors in position. The process is repeated on the other side of the car, and all this has been done in under 5 minutes. The repairer is now positioning the pull chain on the left rear frame member. The ram is inserted into the ram anchor foot and extension tubes fitted on top of the plunger. The chain lock head is then positioned. The chain passed through. A securing pin fitted, and the other end of the chain inserted into the chain anchor. Pressure is applied to take out tension, and the pulling operation is ready to start. This is just one advantage of the Korek system. Multiple pull in up to 3 directions. Using either feet or hands to operate the air pumps, the repairer can apply a combination of pulls from the 3 different ram setups. Although seldom required, a force of up to 10 tons is available at each pull point. The metal is eased back into position. Clearly, this rear wing will have to be replaced, at least in part. The body is being pulled out so that the frame member will be correctly positioned before the damaged parts are cut away and any new parts are fitted. Using a hammer and woodblock, the creases are eased while the metal is under tension. This is to break the back of the small dents, so that when the tension is released, the panel doesn't spring back. Blue heat is applied to the left rear subframe to prevent further damage to an impact tear in the metal. More tension is applied. This tear in the frame member will have to be welded and a reinforcing piece fitted. Here, although the rear cylinder is pushing up, the cross-chain arrangement in the center of the screen produces a downward pull on the right rear of the car. Again, he hammers to ease the metal out while it's under tension. Finally, the tension is released.
Morning, Barry. How are you? Morning.
So much for the technique. But what does the Korek system mean in practice to its owners? We asked the proprietor of a small British body shop just what the installation of a Korek system had meant to his business.
By using this equipment, space saving. Once the car's anchored up, enables me to pull in any direction. Time, probably a third, saves me on actual fitting up.
Mm-hmm. And how about the profitability?
Well, I should think it must be good. My bank manager doesn't worry me anymore.
That must be a good thing.
The Korek system enables work to be carried out on up to 3 cars at once. While the Capri is undergoing its final pull, a second repairman is getting ready to pull out the front wing on the white 1100. A special headlamp puller is used to ease the wing forward. The rear left of the Capri has been subjected to upward pull, made possible by a quick rearrangement of the pulling gear. While the Capri and the 1100 are being straightened, a third repairer is working on the white BMW, all on the same base. This large repair shop on the outskirts of Paris has been using Korek systems to straighten out the results of French accidents for some time. A year ago, the proprietor had only one Korek. He found that so profitable that he went ahead and installed 5 more. We went along to talk to him and find out how the Korek system had worked out for him.